This is part 2 of a seminar I gave at the 2014 Western Washington Sportsman Show in Puyallup, Washington. And we're talking about floating jigs for steelhead. Floating jigs for steelhead can be very effective and works for both boat anglers and bank anglers alike. In part 2, I talk about choosing your floats, jigs, and using scent. You guys, you put them on there, you tighten it down, and then it starts coming unraveled after you move it a couple times, right? So what I started doing is I tighten it down, I get it real tight, and I do one overhand knot, right? The overhand knot's small, so I'll trim that off. It's okay. But if you like them, they work. I've used them, right? Let's see here. We've got, oh, here we go. If you have vision problems and you really want to have more vision problems, use the bobber stop tabs, right? They work, but if you wear glasses and it's raining and it's foggy, what you're doing is you're threading the line into the tab. Oh my. They're great, but they're hard to see, okay? Keep that in mind. But choices. These work great. These are the eggs. It's a little rubber, real small rubber egg. And the great thing is, that hole's pretty good, so you can probably see that with bad vision. You get that line through that hole, pull it on, you've got to stop, and you have the bead for your float. Okay, I like these. These are good. And quite frankly, I use all of those, but my vision hasn't gone yet, right? But I know I get guys in the boat, they're like, man, I can't see that thing. I'm like, oh, here, take this. They got it. So slip floats, they work because you can fish a little deeper water and you can make adjustments. All right, so where is that bad boy? So here's my bobber stop. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to adjust that. I'm not going to slip very much because this water is pretty shallow. Okay? So, here's another thing that I need to touch on. If you want to put fluorocarbon on your braid and you like, I cannot do this uni knot, you could use some crane swivels, barrel swivels, size 12. But if you use the wrong size, and you don't buy the right brand, this is Bomac. I fish all Bomac floats, okay? I use these Bomac number 12 cranes because they balance right. You guys know what hinging is? Hinging, you guys ever heard of the term hinging? Hinging happens when you tie something. We use this as an example. Let's say I've got that swivel tied right here, and when I go to cast, every single time I cast, at that point, all of my gear flips way back on the main line. It goes shoo, 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 around your main line. That's hinging. If you use the wrong weight on your rig, you're going to get hinging. Okay? So terminal tackle size is very important. Make sure that you're choosing the correct size of terminal tackle. When it comes to floats, I said, guys, there's lots of choices. Even in these choices here, you got little shorties, you've got yellow, you've got red, you've got green and chartreuse, you've even got the real long ones. You can even wrap your floats. It's okay. There's lots of choices. Jigs. What color do I use, Doug? Wait a minute. Didn't we just use peach yesterday? Yeah. Why are we using purple today? Because the fish didn't like pink anymore. Who knows, guys? It changes from day to day, right? Steelhead are funny. I'd love to tell you that the old adage is true. Dark colors on super clear water, and you're going to be good to go, right? Steelhead, their behavior changes, and they may all of a sudden not like that dark color. And that water could have 6 foot of visibility, and it's not working. I like to pinch the end off of this a little bit in case these fish hit. I don't want to hurt them. I've got a nightmare on here. Here. Nice and gentle, reel that in and keep your rod pointed right here. About right there, that's good. Hey man, where are you going? I mean, dark colors do work in clear water. But you can go an hour into this and not get anything because that color's not working. You know what you need to do? Change colors, right? That happens frequently. I get people who go, you know, what happened? Or the bite's off, or there's no fish here. No, they're here. They just have changed their behavior. They don't like that dark color. So we need to give them something a little lighter. Here's the thing, guys. What color is the right color? I don't know. But what I will tell you is if you go to the river to float jigs for steelhead and you don't have selection, whose fault is that? That's right. Because isn't it terrible when the guy comes by and you're like, he's got his third fish on, and you're like, what color are you using? Dark, light, what? And he goes, dark colors, purples, blacks. I don't have that. Okay? I carry a lot of colors in my boat because I want my clients to put fish in the boat. I want that selection. If one of my partners calls me and says, hey man, we're killing them up here on red and chartreuse, I got it, right? I have that color. Everything's more expensive. I know that you guys don't like spending a ton of money, but you need to have selection. If you want to invest in the sport, you want to do well, you need to have selection. Do you have to have 15 of every color like I have? No. But you do need some selection, because if you don't have it, you're not going to be catching fish. And so for an investment of like $50, you can cover the spectrum. So stay with one size. Go with 8s. Forget the 16th for now. Go with 8s. Fill a box up with 8s. Here are all of my dark colors. Here are all of my super light colors. Fill it in between. You know, what works better? Marabou? Synthetics? I don't know. But what I will tell you is you got to be careful when you're putting scent on your jigs. And I absolutely use scent. Do not, and I repeat, do not use scent on marabou. Marabou are feathers. Don't put your scent on feathers. Feathers, and here's some scent I use a lot of, the Potskey's liquid krill. The scent kills the feather action. Feathers undulate, okay? When this jig is sitting in the water, you want the jig down, you want that hook kind of up, and it undulates. Some of the jigs, in fact, the jigs I use by over-the-edge jigs, have synthetics on them in certain little spots, maybe underneath that collar. The collar is feather, so if I put scent on here, I'm not putting it on the feathers, I'm going to get under the collar and put it on the synthetic. Okay, or maybe I'll just put a little on the hook, right? I'll throw this to you. How much scent is the right amount? It is literally, guys, a drop. It's not that much. Fish smell parts per billion. Yes, sir. You know, you can put some like the jellies and the gel type on the head, but if you have like a marabou collar, it's going to push right on there, and it is going to affect that jig, okay? Sometimes you just don't need scent. I'll tell you what you don't want to do. You don't want to give bad scent to your jigs. All right, be honest. Smokers? Smokers? None? No smoke. We got smokers. Chewers? Who chews? Yeah, I chew. Who eats while they go fishing? Took a break, you went and eat. Somebody picked their nose. Somebody touched something that stunk. Fish smell parts per billion. Okay? You smell something, you go, man, that smells good. Yeah, it does. Fish smell that way better than you do. Okay? Just a little bit of scent goes a long way. If you're going to use, and I just had it out here a little bit ago. Oh, here it is. Let's say we're going to cheat because you're really struggling with those fish. This is called a drifter. Over the Edge Tackle has tied marabou. They have a whole line of marabou, and they have a whole line of synthetics. Now, their marabou drifters, I don't put any scent on. But on their synthetic drifters, I will put scent on those because these guys, they're sparkly. Their job is to sparkle, not to undulate in the water. So I'll throw some scent on there. And what does this give me? When I tie this onto a jig, either on the hook shank, the bend of the hook, or on a candy dropper that has another eye for me, it lets me fish 2 water columns. Because here in the Steelhead River, I have to make it this short. This is supposed to be 18 to 24 inches long on the river. And this little guy here just floats around. It's added incentive. So you're having a tough day, tie a drifter on there. Use scent. Use your favorite scent. When you're done fishing with your jigs, you just spent 50 bucks. You took this jig off, you put another scent on, you put a new jig on, because maybe your favorite scent isn't working. Now you're going to put some krill, or you're going to put some anise. Don't put that scent on the jig that you just put the Potski's egg krill. Okay, don't do that. Take that jig out, put it in your little jig container. Joy, lemon joy soap, lemon joy soap, a little bit. Wash your jigs. When you're done, hang them and dry them. And I know what's going on here. You're out there, you know what? I can get 3-4 hours of fishing. Oh, just a little bit longer. Holy crap, the game starts. Let's go. You load up in the car and you're freaking racing. Oh, I'm hungry. You stop at McDonald's. You grab some food. You get home. You throw your stuff in the garage. You run inside. You watch the Seahawks. And it's all downhill from there. Those jigs are sitting there rotting in their scent. Wash your jigs. Hang them up and dry them. Or your investment isn't going to work. Now you got to go buy more. And I'm all good with that. I'm all good with that. So is Over the Edge Jigs or any of the other companies that are out there. But get them washed. Now, you guys, I talked about this earlier, weight. A lot of guys think, hey, you know what? I can't cast this. I need weight. You'll even see some guide pros, they'll put some weight. They'll put weight, inline weight on their presentations to show you how far they go. You know what? I'm barely even casting this, and this is still going out there. I mean, even if because it's such a short distance, just lob it over there. I mean, that's quite a bit of weight right there. I don't use weight. I really don't. I just don't use weight. I mean, that has got quite a bit of weight to it as it is. See, look, he thought about it. I mean, look at this thing swing. Listen, why do you need weight? You can cast that thing 45, 50 yards, right? So really use weight cautiously because you're going to have a hinging issue.
That's it for part 2. Move on to part 3, where I talk about choosing water, identifying seams and edges, and fishing effectively.